This week on Across the Arrowverse, small problems for the Flash, date problems for the Legends, and split team problems for Arrow. Hi everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Matthew Vose.
And I'm Catherine Kay.
This week we are discussing the episodes Flash, Honey, I Shrunk Team Flash, The Legends of Tomorrow, The Curse of the Earth Totem, and Arrow, All for Nothing.
It was a week. I just tried to remember all the stuff from the Flash episode, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it feels like Flash was really packed with 2 or 3 plots of stuff going on, and Legends had lots going on, but nothing that I feel was memorable in the same way. And Arrow was back on form.
Well,
Arrow was dour.
Arrow is Arrow. It's always dour.
Mm.
There are a few too many people. And until they finally decided that we're going to have the season climax and Arrow will succeed, basically the theme is that everything's going to not quite come off and everyone's going to be a bit miserable for the whole season. But that's just Arrow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Don't hate your friends just because they have the same personality.
Yeah, let's start off with Arrow then. Let's get that done. So All or Nothing was them running out of money to pay off for not exploding a bomb, trying to trace down the bomb, dealing with the vigilante who may or may not be working both sides. Who ended up dead by
Indeed.
Black Siren.
Yeah.
And them not being able to retrieve the bomb, but getting the file about Oliver or Green Arrow killing Caden James's son. But it's been doctored. It's not real, which we knew it wasn't real, because he didn't do the thing. But it's not real in the way that there is someone else trying to set him up for reasons.
Given that Caden James is supposed to be like that's this super brilliant, super intelligent person, it doesn't really ring true to me that he would just be duped by a doctored video that I mean, don't get me wrong, Felicity is awesome, but isn't Caden James supposed to be equally as amazing as Felicity?
Yeah.
So surely he would, I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps there's going to be more to it with them trying to explain it to him, and or perhaps it's the girl who helped them find this, who used to work for the hacking agency group.
Phoenix?
Whose name we can't remember. What do you think they should be called, Catherine?
Phoenix!
Phoenix?
Phoenix!
She worked for Phoenix. And yeah, unless it's something about them playing them again, which will be a repeat of at least last season.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels... yeah, you're right. I think we're waiting for the other shoe to drop with that one, because this feels a little bit... For someone that's supposed to be such a mastermind and so clever, this feels like a little bit of a dumbed down way of having drawn him into this conflict.
And I'm going to say that nothing of consequence happened. Clearly someone died, who they were trying to set up as a quasi-main character, but largely this was another... We've got 23 episodes to fill, we've got to keep moving on, so let's do... The next step is they get the file, and that tells them something more, and next week they'll investigate the file, and that'll get them something more, and...
I don't understand where they're getting all this money from.
To pay off for the bomb?
To pay off Caden James.
Well, I think it was the city's money.
City's money, okay.
So the cash that they had reserved for...
Paying school teachers and
yeah,
stuff.
Future expenses or something, they're now running out of.
Okay.
So...
Fair enough. It's weird to me also to see them actually paying off a blackmailer.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I and maybe this is just a normal real life thing, but surely isn't the normal thing for governments to say we don't pay terrorists?
Yeah.
It would just encourage more.
For whatever reason they are this time. Yeah. And are we supposed to buy that that's Oliver's guilt over... Because they helped release him last season, and the fact that he's doing it to take revenge on Oliver?
Yeah. It's nice that his guilt lends him to give away lots of other people's money, but I don't know.
There's no reasoning for it that makes us go, yeah, I can really buy why he's doing this to save the lives. And
I think it's a plot device to show the passing of time.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, again, just filling in another show, and perhaps they're expecting something for Caden James later in the season that requires a lot of money.
Maybe.
So this is a way for them to do it, rather than just steal it, blackmail it out of them, maybe. Yeah. We didn't really get much of Oliver as a leader.
No.
No, and I don't feel we got much of... In fact, was his son in it? Maybe briefly, and wasn't he sent off to grandparents or something?
I don't know if the son was actually in it. I think he was referenced about he was in the shelter, wasn't he? Because he couldn't quite get out of town. Didn't something fall onto his school bus as they were about to leave?
Last episode.
Yeah. So I think he's now in one of the protected shelters.
Okay. So not a great week. Spinning wheels again on Arrow.
Yeah.
So Legends, the Curse of the Earth Totem, which is obviously spoofing Curse of the Black Pearl. Lots of pirate fun. Sarah goes on a date, and Ray saves Nora in the end, having almost killed her, and appears to possibly be captured.
Yeah. There was a lot of fun in Legends. This was not a bad episode, but it wasn't up to the quality of some of the Legends episodes we'd had earlier in the season.
The one 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Exactly. But it definitely wasn't a bad episode. It was just possibly a little bit too overcrowded. There wasn't necessarily quite the same clear sense of overall narrative. I don't know.
I'll agree it didn't have the clear sense, but I don't think it was overcrowded. I don't think there was enough going on. I feel a lot of it was very light with we've got to pretend we're hard pirates, then we've got to get in with Blackbeard. We're not in with Blackbeard, so let's mutiny. Oh, but now we are in with Blackbeard, so let's go to this thing, and now we're in danger. It feels absolutely pointless and poorly conceived, almost. And then finally to a point where now Blackbeard's gone on board the ship, and they're fighting Blackbeard for no real reason, and then we'll let him off with a warning because he's nice and a kind of funny pirate.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I said overcrowded, I meant overcrowded with trivial bits.
Yeah, that I'd agree. It just, if you're going to have pirates, and what was a grand episode. They used a lot of effects, they used clearly a lot of extras and a lot of sets and a lot of stuff going on. I don't see why. I don't feel like I got my money's worth for what we have presented on screen.
Were they trying to balance out the clear... The
bottle episode.
The bottle episode. No. Were they trying to balance out the clear message that Damien Dark is just totally dominating them?
Right.
With some fun and humour to keep the overall tone of the episode light?
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like Damien Dark is holding all the cards here. Especially when Ray goes and gives him some more cards back.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the whole... Oh, that little girl, she was so nice when she was a young, possessed teenager.
Yeah. But I don't feel like we're getting much from that story because it's not changed how she's dealing with them, it's changed how Ray's dealing with them.
Yes, I feel that the emotional connection that Ray feels to her, I don't think was sufficiently well developed.
Yeah. And I think because we're not seeing it from her perspective.
Well, no.
Or we're not feeling it from her.
I feel like we needed an intermediary step of them potentially even in Ray's deluded mind, but of them forming some form of additional connection.
So we'll see what comes of it. There might be more. And certainly with Ray spending time, so we'll see if he's going to be a hostage. He's going to do his... don't you remember when you were young and we helped Bad B plot with each other? And then it became very natural with them hanging out.
Yeah.
I feel like we're perhaps progressing their relationship too quickly. Because we've had weeks of flirtation, they're now moving into, right, they've been on a date, now they're a couple. Bang.
Yeah, exactly.
I meant the bang as a impact of hitting the desk or something. I'm not implying anything more. This is a family show. So, we'll see... What more happens with that? Are we about to get into Arrow level of drama of now they're a couple, so now they're going to find things out about each other or fall out? Or
I mean, they're already starting to fall out, aren't they? Didn't
they both ditched each other?
Prefect, what's her face, call her out and say, you ditched, you stood me up.
Yeah.
I was thinking, she didn't stand you up. She ditched you.
Yeah. So that was all very nice.
Yeah.
It felt almost unearned to have them fighting the pirates at the end. Okay, so we've got to get them all on the same ship together and then have them having a fight sequence, and that's how they fall in love in the normal sort of action hero trope.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think they just wanted to use the pirates. To be fair, I would quite like to have one of those pirate costumes.
Yeah?
Mm.
Okay. Good. So Flash, Honey, I Shrunk Team Flash had the two big bits were obviously Cisco and Elongated Man being shrunk, and Cecile being able to read minds.
Yeah.
So two significant developments.
And yeah, I mean, like Cecile being able to read minds, I found very interesting. And it was does exactly to that relationship what I thought it would.
Right.
In that it not breaks it, but it certainly puts it onto very unsolid ground. Not necessarily for the reasons that Joe said, but that whole space of not actually being able to have any kind of private thoughts.
Yeah.
Huge amount of strain on the relationship. And I think that's a foreshadowing of DeVoe and his wife.
Okay.
That's
nice, yeah. Yeah, I would like it if that's the case. If I hadn't thought of it in that way of he's also able to read minds, so it doing that, because they've treated him very differently. He's using it for sinister purposes. But yeah, with either her being pushed away by it or him pushing her away because he can see that she's not totally there.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because they have sold it very much that she is there for him. Much as they weren't in this episode. What we've seen of them has been they are now committed together, but we still think she's going to be a weak link or something.
Yeah, and I quite like the way that they are educating us about this with Cecile and Joe, because I think they're doing quite right to really sort of almost give a light touch to how much they put DeVoe and his wife in it for now.
Yeah.
Because once they start being a regular feature of it, it's probably not going to be that long until it also starts to unravel.
Yeah.
So at the moment, just having a light touch with them and having them there as the big bad in the background rather than a main part, I'm liking that.
Yeah. There was lots of good comedy, I feel. I feel the show did some good fun, because Cecile is quite good fun. I like her as a character. I like the way the actress portrays her. She's very capable.
Yeah.
She doesn't do ditzy, which a lot of women written in the Arrowverse do end up going to. But her comedy about when she was reading people's minds and commentating on what they were thinking was quite fun. And then the other side of reading Cisco's mind for the numbers, and then, what's a Bulbasaur?
Yes, I loved that. Yes, I loved that. I loved the sheer joy that she had in it. There was none of this, oh, I'm so stressed by my superpower. She was just like really enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting that it's a passive superpower. It's just something she always does. Whereas everyone else in the show, their superpower is doing a thing, running fast, opening a portal, making someone cold.
It's funny, I was waiting for the scene where she gets really overwhelmed by hearing all people's minds, and then someone teaches her how to focus it.
Yeah.
And I realised that's just because that is the
what they go to.
Telepath's new power development scene that I've seen in a million other things. So it was quite nice that they didn't do that.
Yeah. Do you think it's coming? Do you think we might get it in a future episode before the baby's born?
I don't know. I feel that they are going to do something else with her power.
Okay.
But maybe not a lot else.
Okay.
I think it's very interesting that they, or maybe no, I don't think they're going to do that whole crowded mind. I'm getting stressed out, but I feel that there will be a plot point around Cecile's power.
Is she the trick, the key to unlocking DeVoe and figuring out what's coming or what he's doing, getting a step ahead of him?
Maybe.
The shrinking thing was the other thing, the new bus meta, the guy who could shrink people down and put things back to full size as well.
Yeah, I forget what. So his power was to be able to take away the space between molecules.
Yes, effectively. So this is the problem with episodes that shrink things. There are episodes of Star Trek, Farscape, you name it. The shows have generally done this trope, this gimmick. And there's usually a scene of, wait, how does it work? Because we're now, smaller than an oxygen molecule. An oxygen molecule wouldn't fit in our bodies, that kind of thing. So that's how they're explaining, or trying to explain it in this. It's not just that you've made molecules smaller. It's that you've removed the physical space between them. I don't think it matters, is the crux of it, though. I think we just accept it because it's TV and it's fun. In a world where people run very fast.
Yeah, no,
and don't burst into flames every time. And
I think because they tried to explain it, my brain tried to understand it, and I just found myself going,
Yeah, because they don't explain it in Legends when Leki made Amaya very small.
No, they just did it.
It was just a thing.
Yeah.
So, I quite liked it to do a bit of showing this guy's powers. And it's almost the natural thing to do with shrinking powers. But I much preferred him shrinking weapons and keeping them on him.
Yeah.
It was almost better than the way Ant-Man did it. Because Ant-Man did it ever so slightly, but in a comic, hey, let's make this ant really big. Let's make Thomas the Tank Engine really big. This was, okay, I've got lots of toy cars in my pocket and I'm going to make them deadly at you.
Yeah.
Great.
And it was quite a fun way of stealing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I quite like that. It was quite fun.
Mm. So he's an interesting bus meta. He's the one that I think I can see being linked to other events coming and being the thing that brings other stuff together. Because he is you can use his power to join stuff where the being lucky, again, a very passive thing, and some of the other bus metas we've seen, we're not sure they're going to be useful.
Mm.
So the other bit of the episode that we've not touched on, though, is Flash trying to help out Big Sur get out of prison.
Yes.
Which we all knew that was going to come to nothing and be difficult and so on. Interesting him dropping him off in the monastery where Wally was possibly hanging out.
Yeah. They must be so confused in that monastery.
Yeah.
Why are all these Westerners randomly turning up?
Yeah. Good use of a set, though.
Yeah.
But Flash ending up being captured by Jubal Early and possibly sold off to Starbuck.
Yeah. Really good. I'm really glad to see her back.
Mm.
She's a good character.
Yeah, we liked her a lot. Very fun, very interesting, good power.
And I always like seeing a plot that's been set up so nicely come back and be used in a different way.
Yep.
I had just thought that her role in this as the slave trader was simply to produce DeVoe in his new state.
Okay.
So actually bringing her back again and this being a feature of the world that
they have to deal with.
That they have to deal with, and that's sort of a little bit more entwined in the overall plot. I quite like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that next week. Mentioning the monastery, I did realise, of course, we didn't talk about Wally.
Yeah.
In Legends. So actually, yeah, there was a lot going on. It had completely slipped my mind that was in there. Because that story almost didn't matter.
Yeah, there wasn't much overlap, was there? There was a little bit where, because wasn't that why Prefect Lady, or Gary came and stole her out of her date?
Yeah. But that was them trying to link them together. I don't think it was really necessary, given how little really... They got drunk together and then he decided he'd help out. Because he had fun doing it.
I also don't really like Rip getting him drunk.
Yeah. The week before, we'd had a final scene of him turning up and saying, I need your help. And this week we had more scenes, but it was still him saying, I need your help. No, I'm not going to help. Oh, okay, I'll help. It was almost that conversation was spread out across the episode with some silly stuff that didn't need it. But, they've got an episode out of him, so fair play. Yeah. I'm still looking forward to having him on the team.
Yes. Yes, I want him on the ship doing proper stuff.
Yeah. Do you think he'll come and join them with Rip, or Rip will send him in with instructions?
I don't know. I'm a little confused as to what Rip's role is in Legends of Tomorrow nowadays.
Okay. He's now Renegade.
He's now Renegade, and he was Renegade, and then he was the police, and now he's Renegade.
Yeah.
I wonder if the writers even quite know what they want to do with Rip.
I wonder if Arthur Darvill doesn't want to do every episode.
Maybe.
It's the other thing, isn't it? Is that his name, Arthur Darvill? Have I just given the name of his character from Doctor Who? Am I confusing the characters entirely? It's possible.
I don't know.
Answers on a postcard.
Anything is possible. I think Sarah Lance is a better leader than he was.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we're completely behind that. The status quo, I think, particularly as we've had the last few episodes, the status quo of a smaller group, but more focused on some of their goals, with Rory doing the comedy.
Yeah.
It works. It's good.
Works.
I like it.
Yeah. I like Rory. Although he was a bit icky at a couple of points in this episode, but in general,
well,
I like
yeah,
Rory.
the fetishization of lesbians, we can start doing without that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But silly writing at times, isn't it? It's still not quite moved on from where it has been in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Any more?
I don't think so. So basically an episode almost of putting people in places to then take off. So like Ray's been put in a place. Hopefully that will take off.
Yeah. Arrow's the same. Yeah. Doing some of the same, getting bits of information. I feel like Flash had an actual week of doing some stuff. We've moved a number of pieces around to do things. It's just the continuing problem of so many episodes. They have so many plots to do.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that wraps us up for another week. If you have thoughts, questions, or comments, you can use the hashtag ATAV on Twitter, or find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Eloquent Gushing. If you want to help support us, please check out our Patreon page, where you can get access to exclusive content across all our shows. Go to patreon.com/eloquentgushing and visit our homepage, eloquentgushing.com, where you can sign up for our weekly newsletter about all the goings-on across the network. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you across the Arrowverse.
Across the Arrowverse is an Eloquent Gushing production. For more shows you'll love, please visit eloquentgushing.com.